Guys, it's Melissa. Hey, good morning, everyone. I want to talk about a couple things. I got a job. Yay. Good for me. Congratulations to me, right? So, there's the lighting. I think my phone is going. I work with a phone that's cracked and it's just a phone that needs to be replaced, but it's not happening because I don't have insurance on this phone, so I gotta wait to replace this phone. So anyways, couple things I want to talk about. Okay, I'm sitting in a chair, and a couple things I want to talk about here. One is the chair rule. So this guy in this book that I've been talking about, I didn't bring the book with me. I thought I did. Choose to Win. I've got my notebook here. He was talking about one of the things you can do. This is called the chair rule, is to set up 2 chairs in the morning. Set up 2 chairs, and this is a visual, and I really like it. And he says, 1 chair is for you, and 1 chair is for God. And he says, what you do, and I think this is cool, is a way to pray to God. And I think it's cool because I can get lazy in my prayers, right? I mean, I pray in the morning, something in the morning, but it's not as intentional as actually getting up and putting 2 chairs, in the living room or whatever. So he says, have 2 chairs, sit down in one, picture the other one, God is sitting there, and you say to God, hey, God, do you know what's going on? And he's like, of course I do, I'm God, right? And then you say whatever is burdening you or whatever is on your mind or what you're going through. Do you know, God, that there's a divorce going on? Yes, I do. Are you big enough to handle it, God? Yes, I am. I'm God, right? And just kind of give it over to God. And then say to God, what is the plan? And I thought this was cool because you're actually looking for direction from God. Now, I've talked about my jobs, and I have a really strong job experience. And this is great for me. It's great for me that I told you guys, like, I have tons of people who want to hire me, especially New Hampshire was boom, 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 right? But because my resume is so strong with so much experience, I have the upper hand. I do. I had a hard time finding work, but nothing for a moment. I've only been in Colorado for what, a week and a half? But much stronger than other people. My Uber driver yesterday, he said he applied to a job in March. Just heard back from them. Okay? So, what, 4 months later about? And then, on one job I had called, she's like, I promise, Melissa, I'll get back to you. Didn't hear a word. Then I got back to her right when I got back over to Colorado. And she's like, I can't guarantee the hours that you want. And I'm like, look, I'm looking for any hours right now. And she's like, well, give me a couple weeks when, school starts, people start, going back to school and college. And then it should, I should have something for you. And I really can't wait that long. I can't, right? I could have, but I can't. So, one of the issues here is there's a lot of college kids. I'm in a college area, right? And so this is a college town that I am in, surrounded by military base. So with that in mind, you have to go outside of your sphere to get work. And then we also have, the Uber driver was saying, we have people coming in and out of Colorado. They just moved here a few months ago. A lot of people move in and a lot of people move out. And so jobs are just really tough over here. But even with my challenges, my experience is good enough to get work. So I did get hired. I put in a financial affidavit of zero income because I will not be getting paid for a couple weeks here. And I have some money set aside and I have a bill to pay. And I'm like, geez, do I pay this bill or do I pay the late fee? And I think I will be paying the late fee instead because I need the money. And then once I get paid, I will pay them. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking advantage of a late fee. I did call about a credit card and got approved. And that is not a situation where, I would even have to max it out or anything because I have money. I will be having money coming in where before the credit card was just like, hey, we need to survive, right? So, anyways, that is a credit card that you build credit, and that's something that you want to do for yourself once the air clears a little bit with a divorce. What else is going on? Oh, and I have a second interview today. So I did go for a second job, another interview the other day, and they were like, well, we really need someone at night. And I'm like, the bus does not come that late at night, and I would have to Uber, at night, which I could, but for 3 hours a night, kind of not worth it. So, so for now, that job, until I get a car, that job's not going to work for me. And so, even when I have work, which I start tomorrow, so my videos will look a little different again, because I will probably have to switch them to the afternoon. But even when I have work, I constantly look for work, side hustles and what else can I do to improve myself. My resume, I will be looking at my life resume. Instead of just a work resume, I will be looking at my life resume, like, okay, what have I done with my life? And there's a lot in the homeschooling that I can put down too, if I get the details down. So there is a place that needs a teacher. I was contacted to be a substitute teacher. I don't really want to be in the institution. I really don't. I like teaching on my channel. I like just being kind of on the entrepreneur side. I did call a property manager for my cleaning business to work on that, because when I had gotten here, I had started my cleaning business, just had a couple jobs, and they didn't get back to me. They were supposed to contract with me, and then they got back to me again, and it's been kind of up and down with them. So property managers, I was told. I was with an Uber driver, and he used to have a cleaning business, and he goes, contact the property managers and the real estate agents, which I did contact one, but I got to work at contacting more. And he gave me the names of the ones to contact. But so I'm always working at things. And of course, I have my channel. If anyone wants to support that, I got to figure out how to get more fundraising for that. I want to reach out more to help others, especially the homeless. I'm on the homeless Facebook channel where we talk about helping the homeless more. And it's really the churches that need to help more, because the state and stuff, just out of curiosity, I've been like, let's see what happens if I have no income. Let's see how I do. And there's just not a strong infrastructure for our poor and needy. And it shouldn't be that way, because we send money over to other countries, so we should be able to take care of our own better, right? And so that's kind of what's going on today. I usually get up in the morning. My sleep is important. I was actually reading yesterday that sleep is more important than what you eat and exercise. Your sleep is extremely important, because people who don't get enough sleep, they tend to want the sugary foods more. They tend to not make good decisions. And I'm like, wow, I knew there was something to my sleep, but I didn't know it was that important. So it's extremely important to get at least 7 hours, they recommend, a night. So that's important. And just the small choices you make every single day. And this guy was talking about relationships. Relationships are going to be one of your biggest resources. And so I'm going into my job with the mindset of not so much working hard, but working on those relationships at work. And I already had this lady say, look, you are perfect for this job. You are very friendly, outgoing. She's like, I went for a particular job, and she's like, well, we don't need that job, but would you be willing to do this? And I'm like, yep, sure. I'm willing to do pretty much any job that you have for me. So she's like, great, So anyways, be willing to take extra work that maybe you didn't plan. I already have some experience with this, and this would just be building my resume into a stronger work experience in this area. So my waitressing and cleaning is pretty strong, but I want to go in a different direction now. Sometimes you have to pick two, which this worked out because I was already thinking of this. You have to pick different work. You have to pick something that would, you know, give you different skills so that you are more valuable to people. So as I go into this, I've got a boss who looks like she's really for me, and I'm looking forward to this. And so I'm starting tomorrow, and I'm excited. I'm excited, and I have looked into a second job. I have another interview today. We'll see how that goes, but I'm really thinking instead of that second job, just to start off, to invest in my skills more, to get back to the real estate class that I had taken, get back to that down the road, take that, invest in some classes with exercise I want to do. What else do I want to do? I think I'm going to be taking a bartending class to invest in my waitressing skills more, just because people drink much more nowadays than they ever used to. So a lot of the drinks I don't know, and I think I need to work on that. And basically, yeah, just getting back up on my feet, and I'm in a better place than I have ever been financially because I went down so far. I mean, all I have is my rent and storage and phone to pay for. That's it. And those are all, you know, on the cheaper level. My phone, I usually negotiate with them with my phone. I still could get my phone a little bit cheaper. But other than that, everything's pretty cheap. My guys, one of my kids just brought $200 worth of food. So sometimes when you're like, oh, I'm pinching pennies, and I'm not going to go buy a bunch of groceries because I'm pinching pennies and it's cheaper to go out to eat. Sometimes just once you get that big foundation of food, you're all set to go. Pack those lunches. And I will be in a place where I will be fed at work. So that's another good thing that will save me a lot of money, and it will be nutritional, and I don't have to worry about even thinking about my food each day. I will be working hard, which will give me some exercise, even more exercise, which I'm excited about. And yeah, so everything is good now. I think the whole storm is pretty much over financially. It's going to be, saving money now, and I should be able to save a really good chunk of money. And as far as the divorce, I'm not really thinking about it. Not really. It's just something that my husband chose to do, and I am his wife, and this is how he chose to treat me. So regardless of what the courts say, I am his wife, period. And whether he wants to face the facts or not, I am his wife. So that's kind of what's going on in my life. Everything's looking good. I will probably do a video later this afternoon. I've got some calls to make still. I usually get up, have some prayer, get my daily priorities for the day in place, look at my routines, look at my weekly schedule, push out to your yearly schedule what your goals are, push out to 5 years, 3-month goals, push it out. Keep your videos going, keep your mindset going, read, watch videos, stay motivated. And what else? I kind of just took an intake of my whole life yesterday when I was at the Plasma Center thinking about things. And like, where is my life going, and what do I want to change, and what can I do better? And I think where relationships have been broken so much in my life, I think building relationships again are going to be really important to me. What else? Yeah. I mean, life is not about money. You're building, money is great and it's important. You need to eat the next day, but you're building a legacy, right? Legacy is totally different than your daily goals. You want to look at your spiritual stuff and say, when I am gone one day, which can be any time now, right? When I am gone, what have I left behind? What did I do in my walk with God? What did I do? How has he prepared me for heaven? What have I done with my marriage? Looking back, did I do a good job? I would say yes. Very good. What have I done with my kids? Have I invested enough in them? What is their future going to look like? Have I invested enough, with my own family. I was watching Dr. Phil yesterday. I've had some extra time on my hands, so I was watching Dr. Phil. And he had said, this couple came in, it's a recent episode, saying, oh, my mother is no longer allowed to come over and see the grandkids. And that was because the mother kept disrespecting her own daughter. And she actually brought accusations against the husband, which really infuriated him. And, I felt like it was really not the husband's role to take over and say, you know, grandma isn't welcome over. I felt like it was really between the daughter and the mother to work out that relationship, right? And Dr. Phil said, I will admit she's pushy and she needs some boundaries. So she would go over and just clean, right? And a lot of help is not help unless you ask for it. So I watched that. And then what was the other show I watched? Oh, I watched Caleb Hammer. I usually try to catch his stuff with finances. And again, mother-daughter relationships are so important. This mother kept giving money to her daughter. Her daughter was just taking money from her account because the mother allowed it. And just the mother was kind of ho-hum about it, well, I kind of know she does it, but I don't really care. And sometimes I care. And there was no real standard there, right? That no, you are not going to be taking money from my account anymore. You are an adult. And one thing I appreciate about my parents, they cut the umbilical cord very early in life. They cut it extremely early. My father cut it like as soon as I'm working. That's it. My mother cut it extremely early in life. She didn't keep handing me out money or anything. So this mother kept, every time her daughter wanted something, and her daughter's just taking $50 to play video games, $50 to go spend money here and there. So Caleb was like, you need to cut this or she's never going to be an adult. And I found that to be absolutely 100% true. The umbilical cord needs to be cut. You're not going to be there for your kids all their life. My kids are doing extremely well financially. The ones I live with. The 3 I live with are doing extremely well. Even my 18-year-old, extremely well. I mean, better than me. So they have done really well. And then one of my sons, I hope he's okay. I pray for him. I haven't seen him. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's like last I knew in Washington. So I haven't talked to him in a while. And last I knew, he was tattooing, doing his tattoo work and busking and all kinds of creative stuff as an artist. So he's totally dependent. He's been very independent since a young age. And none of my kids depend on me. None of them do. And you want that. Well, geez, if I feel like picking up something at a restaurant for them and blessing them, that's one thing, but I'm not going to support my kids. And so I do not support my kids. And as a matter of fact, I will though. I went over, I said, hey, how are you guys doing? What's your budget look like? And so when I saw their budget, I was like, great job, guys. These are my 2 youngest. And I'm like, but I would, because I watch so much financial stuff, I'm learning. And I'm like, I would change this though. I would work on, just this, look at your percentage here, on your credit card. Are you just purchasing groceries on there? Or would it be better for you to purchase the groceries on your bank card, So, what percentage is your car loan? What are you, the car was, one of my sons saved up tons of money and brought himself his own car. He did a very good job when we first got here. And then because that thing did quit on him, he didn't have enough of a savings saved up. Again, he needed to get a car loan. And he's done great. He's done a really good job taking care of his car and making sure it has maintenance. He's done a great job. And then he did have somebody over here or something, 4th of July, I don't know. He had a hole in the gas tank. So he had to go, get some Bondo and at Lowe's over here and figure out how to fix that. But he's done extremely well. He's very frugal with his money. Both of them are extremely good with their money. So that's something that I didn't. We were always pretty minimalist raising the kids, raising them, but I wish I had taught them a little bit more about money. And later on, you can do that. You can, as you learn, you can go back into your kids' lives and be like, hey, I would definitely be saving here and doing this. And one of my sons who, has talked about different things he wants to do in the future, one of those goals is at least a 3 months savings for, emergency fund for if you want an apartment, at least 3 extra months of savings in case you don't have work. So I'm very, they're doing great. I have one who is out camping and saving his money. He just camps and he saves his money. That's how he does it. He chose to do that. He was over here and he did have housing, but through his choices, he chose to go back to New Hampshire and just camp it out. So, yeah, they're all very independent. They actually have helped me, and I also turn around and help them. Like, even the little things. I'm like, hey, guys, I need to get my laundry done. Can I borrow your laundry card? Yep. And little things, and then I'm like, okay, I owe you $4 for my laundry, and now I'm at the point of just, if my laundry has been worn more than once, then it's done. If it's dirty, then it's done, but I don't even do laundry I do laundry I think once every 2 weeks now. I mean, but now with my job, I will have to do laundry with my particular clothes on a almost daily basis. So, or every other day, something like that. So anyways, keep it minimalist, keep things very, very minimalist, and then you'll always have money to meet your goals. So this has been a long video, so I'm going to wrap it up, get some things done, make some calls, and I will talk again in another video. Thanks for joining me, guys.